Now at 5:30, it's a battle happening across the nation.
It's the biggest distraction, I think, from learning. It's the biggest hindrance to learning.
The school versus the cell phone.
The issue even making its way to the governor's office.
They truly do need to be removed from our classrooms in Ohio.
Some schools leading the charge. It hasn't always been easy.
They wanted to sign a petition. This is unfair.
But teachers say the results are undeniable.
The engagement of the students is what I noticed most of all.
Tonight, an in-depth look inside one school paving the way for one of the biggest districts in Northeast Ohio. You know, this is an issue affecting every classroom in the country, too, probably much of the world. How do you keep kids engaged in the lesson when they're so distracted by their phones?
It's summer break for a lot of kids, but their teachers are getting ready for some big changes coming this fall. News 5 anchor Katie Houston visited one Cleveland school already taking action and learned why for them there's no looking back.
Good morning. Good morning.
Every morning at George Washington Carver Pre-K through 8th grade STEM school in Cleveland, Bridget Holloway
Good morning, honey. How are you?
greets about 350 students with a warm welcome and takes the cell phones of those who have them.
So they come in, they tell me their number. Each student has a number, and then I pull their number. They have to power their phone off. That way the phone won't be going off while they're in class.
Miss Holloway puts each cell phone into a magnetically locking pouch called a yonder bag. The students then keep it with them during the day and can decorate them to make it more identifiable as theirs.
So
they can make it their own.
Yeah, they can make it their own.
This was the first year the school went cell phone free.
Was there any pushback in the beginning?
Absolutely. Oh, we had kids, especially our middle school kids. They wanted to sign a petition. This is unfair.
Principal Susan Harvey tells me the difference has been night and day.
It really brought academics to a focus. It brought that school is about school.
No more TikToks and fewer fights. She says the impact has been positive, not only socially and emotionally for students, but she believes academically too.
So we do have a higher test score rating for our ELA right now. We know that for sure.
I also talked with teachers.
What difference did you see in your classroom with no cell phones?
The engagement of the students is what I noticed most of all.
Sean Green teaches middle school math.
What impact do cell phones have in the classroom when it comes to learning?
It's the biggest distraction, I think, from learning. It's the biggest hindrance to learning.
Previously, the rule was you couldn't be on your phone, but Mr. Green says it was a constant battle.
You know, if I'm up here teaching 30 students in my classroom and they pull out the cell phone next to their pocket, I don't see what's going on, and that student just missed everything that I just said.
Now, he feels like he's back to teaching and not policing cell phones.
I really think that it was a game changer in the classroom to increase the students' learning and attention span and motivation to learn and actually focus on the work.
And you might be surprised to hear,
yeah, I like it. I think with the other cases, I'm more focused in class.
Students like Malia Shaw agree. However, like Principal Harvey said, she didn't at first.
When they first told you you couldn't have your cell phone, what were you thinking?
Oh, this might be so boring in school. It wasn't as boring though. We were actually focused this year.
She says now she doesn't even think about her phone.
No, I'll be forgetting I have it. I put it in my locker, forget I have it.
Travis Jones tells me he too was skeptical at first, but now...
Have a good one. Would you want to go back to the way it was?
No.
Why not?
For me, I feel like I got more work done this year than last year.
In fact, he received the Principal's Award this year.
How do you earn the Principal's Award?
Showing determination throughout the school years.
How did that feel when you got the Principal's Award?
Proud.
Carver is one of just a few Cleveland Metropolitan School District buildings that experimented with restrictions on cell phone access. However, that changes this upcoming school year when all CMSD schools will be required to collect and store students' personal phones and electronic devices.
These phones are clearly detrimental to learning. They're detrimental to our children's mental health. And they truly do need to be removed from our classrooms in Ohio.
Governor DeWine recently called on the General Assembly to enact legislation to limit cell phone use in schools, a step further than a recently signed bill that says every Ohio school district must establish an official policy on cell phones by next July.
Parents were very excited.
Principal Harvey picked Yonder Bags to implement their cell phone free policy. Cost about $4,000 from her student-based budget. The company's website says they serve 1 million students every day and have partnered with thousands of schools across 21 countries.
As the kids head out for the day, they stop by one of these Yonder Bag unlocking stations that are set out just before dismissal. And just like that, the kids have access to their cell phones again. They throw the yonder bags in the bins that are collected, and they're on their way. Can you imagine going back?
Oh, absolutely not. Please don't go back.
All right, have a good day.
It appears here at Carver, with the phones locked up, the students and staff have unlocked new potential at school.
I cannot point any negative. The only thing I've seen is positive with the yonder cases.
Katie Houston, News 5.
Principal Harvey says organization is the key. Collecting devices will be more challenging, yes, at bigger schools. Again, for Cleveland, it'll be up to each principal to determine the best way to work a cell phone collection policy.